So much for joining us here and sharing your perspective. It is a wrap from my side on Nation at 5. Plain Speak coming up next.
A very good evening. You're watching Plain Speak and I'm Kritsween. Viewers, a series of barbs have been exchanged between the BJP and the opposition Congress since the 16th of February when Department of Government Efficiency or DOGE led by Elon Musk first announced a series of USAID expenditure cuts, while also listing $21 million allocated for voter turnout in India. In fact, on multiple occasions, the same claim has been repeated by President Donald Trump. In fact, he also simultaneously hinted at the former Biden administration indulging in poll interference in India. But what started as a controversy surrounding USAID's alleged involvement in influencing voter turnout here in India has now led to the Congress raking the Finance Ministry's report on projects funded by the American aid agency. Congress's Jairam Ramesh earlier today cited the ministry's annual report for 2023-24 sought an explanation from the central government while calling the BJP a jhoot brigade. The BJP was quick to hit back. We'll tell you how. But amid this raging political controversy over USAID's alleged role in influencing Indian elections, let's first take a look at what the latest annual report of the Finance Ministry has disclosed. The report says the US agency funded 7 projects worth $750 million in the fiscal year 2024. So that's the first big finding. The report also states that the financial year 2023-2024, there was an obligation which totaled up to $97 million and has been made by the United States itself. It further outlined that funds were used for projects focused on agriculture and food security, water, sanitation, hygiene, renewable energy, disaster management. These are some of the sectors which saw funding on part of USAID. In addition, funding was also allocated to the Sustainable Forests and Climate Adaptation Program and the Energy Efficiency Technology Commercialization and Innovation Project, another project which finds a mention in the Finance Ministry's report. The report further added that since its inception in 1951, the USAID provided over $17 billion in economic assistance to India, supporting more than 555 projects across various sectors. So that's the sectoral engagement which has been highlighted in the Finance Ministry's report. And despite External Affairs Minister S. Jaishankar's clear-worded statement, politics around USAID and the funding coming in from the agency refuses to die down clearly. The latest annual report of the Finance Ministry has also shed light on the past dispersals of the now strapped USAID funding to India, which has opened a new battlefront between the ruling BJP and the Congress. Congress, while citing some of these figures in its attack against the BJP, says that the Finance Ministry in the annual report has thoroughly exposed the Prime Minister's lie. They've cited figures and they say, yes, there is money that has been received by the government of the day. But the BJP has countered the allegations and calls it a desperate attempt by the Congress and its ecosystem to deflect from the USAID funding controversy, which is the voter turnout funding controversy. On its part, the Congress has sharpened the attack at the BJP, has highlighted that USAID is involved in 7 key projects with the Indian government, and this shows the depth of quote-unquote collaboration. In response, the Bharatiya Janata Party has maintained that the Indian government has its own established channels to fund and execute development projects, that all of this is a transparent process that takes place on a bilateral level. The Congress once again sought to clarify that USAID's funding for development projects is not linked to influencing voter turnout or election-related activities. The Bharatiya Janata Party refusing to accept that claim. It says that Congress's claim that India's political and electoral integrity cannot and will not be shaped by external forces. The Congress party, the Bharatiya Janata Party, has sought external help, has indeed let foreign elements into the system, that the government is not going to allow foreign agents to dictate its policies, says the BJP. Now, the Congress also reiterated that all USAID funded projects are conducted in partnership with and through the Indian government. The BJP countering some of those claims which have been made by the Congress in the past, and has asserted while emphasizing on India's sovereignty and how it's not up for sale, also drawing a clear line between established channels of funding and the quote-unquote hidden channels of funding, which viewers once again goes back to remember the increase in voter turnout controversy. So these are the two sides, the two claims that have come in so far. But do remember, last evening the Prime Minister also once again raised the issue of foreign interference. He upped the ante against the opposition parties and accused external forces of trying to undermine India's sovereignty and social harmony. And this is what the Prime Minister said yesterday. He said, those with a slave mentality keep attacking the country's religious and cultural traditions. Many of these jibes, of course, were aimed at the opposition with regards to the politics around Mahakumbh. But he did say that he did accuse some of seeking help of foreign powers in attempting to divide the Indian society and weakening its unity. The Prime Minister also pointed the finger at foreign actors for allegedly encouraging activities that mock or disrespect Indian religion, and further asserted that these foreign interventions are aimed at weakening both the nation's unity and its religious identity. So while we see the Congress and the BJP spar once again over US funding, with the Congress now citing the Finance Ministry 2023-2024 report, who really is twisting the facts here? We'll take that up with our experts in just a bit. First up, the top reactions.
USAID was allowed here in good faith to do good faith activities. Now suggestions are being made out of America that there are activities which are in bad faith. So it surely warrants a
Let's quickly open this up with our experts joining us this evening. Shazia Ilmi, national spokesperson of the BJP, along with Nikhat Abbas, Congress spokesperson with us. Also joining us on the broadcast is Mr. Ashok Sajjan, our former diplomat. My first question is to Shazia Ilmi. Shazia, you know, it's very interesting how it all began with the Bharatiya Janata Party raking a certain allegation, which in a sense came in from President Donald Trump and his administration. Interestingly, the Congress is trying to turn this against the Bharatiya Janata Party now, and they've cited a couple of figures which they've picked up from the Finance Ministry's 2023-2024 report. How do you respond?
So I don't understand why would Congress again stand with those elements who have been working on interfering with the Indian elections. And this whole thing of voter turnout becoming a euphemism for interference. So nobody is foolish enough to believe that India needed help from the US to help with the voter turnout. So that's one. There's a lot of noise at my end.
Okay,
so
I'll request our team to fix that. Yeah,
all that is being done, first Congress party is deliberately trying to use the $21 million figure to talk about that Doge was actually talking about $21 million having been given, 21 million US dollars having been given to Bangladesh in 22, and not mentioning that those $21 million was to be given, which has now been scrapped. Now you just look at how this pans out. $29 million for Bangladesh, $21 million were to be given to India. That has been axed. Yes, the USAID works with governments, with government departments. That is something well known to everybody, and it has been established in 1961. But we are talking about those NGOs, those George Soros linked NGOs and the various such outlets and platforms which actually have been working on tarnishing India's image, on working against the elected government of India, with George Soros actually declaring that that he wants to spend this amount of money to dislodge Prime Minister Modi. Now all that is in public domain, and before Biden steps down, there's a huge award that is given to George Soros also. So all that is for everybody to see. We know how this whole Hindenburg thing panned out. We know just before every parliament session what reports would come out which would be used by the Congress party to derail the parliament session which was meant for legislation and passing of important bills. We see how Rahul Gandhi has been running helter-skelter from Ilhan Omar to others, trying to tarnish India's image and that of its democratic institutions and really trash Indian democracy and its institutions. So clearly it's for everybody to see, to connect the dots. And now it's being said and spelled out by no less than the President of America, Donald Trump, not once, not twice, but 5 times, after an official tweet by Doge saying this is happening. Not just that,
but
just
they
the last
to put out
24
any
hours.
facts so far, Shazia. That's one question that is going to be asked by the Congress repeatedly till the time any of the official websites show these figures in writing, and that's not happened, and that's where the Congress arguments comes in.
No, but how can... No. Oh, so if there is money is being given surreptitiously and is marked out, and Trump mentions kickbacks, do you think that the money trail will be so easy for anybody to see how many people are getting kickbacks, what is a fund that is being used, how it's being funneled? Of course, we'll need the help of US State Department to actually give us that info exactly, but it's never as clear. I mean, that's the whole thing about corruption and kickbacks and allocation of funds for this insidious purposes. It is always like this. I mean, they will not actually said bribe so and so people, picked up these NGOs, given so much money on our hand, our assets were given this certain $1 million. They will not write that. Where on earth would you get such a subheading? So things happen, but we have a ballpark figure.
I'm talking about the official websites, which some of them, remember, have been taken down. They're not functional anymore, so it's very difficult to trace these figures really and do the math, cross-verify, perhaps have something up your sleeve which you can give back to the Congress. But what's interesting here, and I want to take that across to Nikat as well. Nikat, you know, that's one part of this huge controversy around the US funding, which is the increase in voter turnout. Now, we've heard it from Elon Musk, we've heard it from President Donald Trump time and again. He cited the $21 million figure. That's one. The second is the Finance Ministry report, which is being cited by the Congress. Jairam Ramesh was the one to take out this detailed reaction, but the government is not denied receiving this kind of financial aid from the United States, which has been ongoing since 1951. It was happening under the UPA regime as well. So $750 million, 555 projects, what does that even establish?
Good evening, Christine, and good evening to all the viewers of CNN News 18, which is what you are saying is absolutely correct, that the Finance Ministry's report 23-24 claims that the Modi government has taken the fund of about $750 million from the USAID categorically to fund the projects like in agriculture, in disaster relief, and so on and so forth. But what we talk about right now is that going back 5 days down the line today, BJP's entire IT cell's ecosystem was, rocketing high at the highest peak of their voice, claiming that it was given by USAID 21 million USD to the Congress's government or the UPA government, so as maybe the spokesperson of BJP would claim, in the year of 2012 and 2013. Now, 2 days back, Donald Trump validates that statement that yes,
2012, 2013, that 2012-2013 argument was never spoken of by the BJP. BJP's Amit Malviya had in fact spoken of the MOU, which was signed back in 2012. These were two different issues which were raised by the Bharatiya Janata Party. They had never given a number or put a number to when exactly was this kind of funding received to increase the voter turnout.
Right now,
BJP spokespersons on television have been saying exactly what they said.
Allow me to speak.
Nikhil, I'll come to you.
Allow me to speak. I did not speak over. Yeah, thank you, Christy. So yes, when couple of days back, Donald Trump has quoted that yes, 21 million USD were given to his so-called friend Modi for the political voter turnout. That is when BJP was exposed. And now when I am saying this, you know, it is the paranoia of BJP's IT cell and the entire ecosystem what they work, that, you know, international interference would not be accepted in the political system and the India's democracy, and I completely stand by them. But what we are talking about right now, either you do the entire auditing of the funds which were received by the USAID to the BJP government, you do the entire auditing and come up with a white paper, or if you say that Trump is lying, then have you taken this up with the UN? Yes, because you are known for your reactions and you're very much reactive. The BJP government is very much reactive. Have you taken this up with the UN or the US government? You haven't. Now, what we talk here about is also the RSS, the other the non-governmental organizations, the cultural organizations which are being regularly funded by USAID in the name of whatever functions, whatever programs or political meets and programs they do. Who's the most benefited? Because those organizations are clearly affiliated with the BJP. Now the entire BJP
but whatever projects have been cited in the Finance Ministry's 2023-2024 report, Nikat, the fact of the matter is, and that's what the BJP is saying, that the origins of these projects go back to the UPA days as well. So how are you holding them against the Bharatiya Janata Party? And I am asking the Congress's position, because it was Jairam Ramesh of the Congress who raised questions with regards to the findings of the Finance Ministry's report.
Yes, he did, because BJP is not coming out with a clean paper. We, as a Congress spokesperson, I can officially tell you this, that the Congress's government or the UPA government was never against the political funding which comes from the foreign organization. It happens all over. It goes to Japan, it goes to Korea, it goes to multiple countries, Australia. It is not the, hampering of the sovereignty of the country or the democracy.
Okay.
What we are asking
I need to go across to the other two people as well, and then I'll take in a word from Shazia. Nikat, you've made your limited point. Nikhil, what would you say before I go across to Mr. Sajjanar? What do you make of the latest back and forth? Because so far, let's cut the chase here. So far we've just seen the Bharatiya Janata Party say that the Congress is seeking external help, is seeking the help of, let's say, United States in trying to manipulate the voter turnout here in India. Now the Congress is citing the same by saying, look, there are several other programs that were being funded by USAID even during your regime. There is endless back and forth to this.
Kritsween, the reason there is endless back and forth to this and no clarity for the viewers and the people of the country is for the simple reason that the BJP indulges in pathetic street level politics, trying to twist and turn everything that goes around in the world. See, the point is that USAID is an organization that has been funding multiple governments across the world for many, many decades, including the Indian government, including under the Congress regimes as well as the BJP regimes. But that is not in itself something to show that there has been political interference or there has been government-related interference by the United States government into Indian affairs, whether it was under the BJP or under the Congress. The moment the Department of Government Efficiency, the Elon Musk-led stupid department in the United States government, I would say that if you actually read the international papers on what the department is doing in the US government, it is essentially trying to dismantle the bureaucracy in the United States, but that's not for me to care about. The point is that when that department in its official handle posted that we are going to cut funding which was supposed to be given in India for voter turnout to the extent of $21 million, BJP and its spokespersons went all gaga saying that who did this $21 million come to? Now that is such facile level of arguments that they do not understand that the funding budget allocation was cut. It wasn't that money was called back. No funds ever actually reached India. But the BJP never got into that nuance. Everybody from their spokespersons doing press conferences to those coming on television channels tried to present to the people as well as the viewers of channels that as if the $21 million...
I think you're very confused. You're not up to speed.
Shazia, hold on.
You don't know what you're saying. You didn't hear what I said.
Shazia, I did not interrupt you.
This is not the issue.
You were wasting time with your
ridiculous monologue.
Shazia, I'm coming to you next. I'm coming to you next. Let him just 30 seconds. Yes, Nikhil. Please complete.
And please stop her from interjecting because she knows what I'm telling is the truth. I have been on multiple news debates with multiple BJP spokespersons trying to claim that 21 minutes. Shazia, I did not interject. Oh, come on. I'm not trying to interject.
Carry on.
You don't interject.
Carry on, my dear. Carry on.
US BJP spokespersons tried to present as if the $21 million had come in when they had never come in. Secondly, BJP spokespersons tried to concoct and confuse the viewers with USAID funding and funding that may be received by certain organizations from organizations linked with George Soros or other organizations such as Amnesty International, Transparency International, Open Society Foundation, which had nothing to do directly with the US government. This is how the BJP has been confusing the people in the country, but now they've been caught red-handed when the own report of Government of India Finance Ministry has pointed out that USAID funding has been received to the tune of hundreds of millions of dollars under the Modi government. Now, BJP is on a back foot, which is why again they are trying to come and confuse
Nikhil,
the people.
To
now,
add to that, let's also agree to the fact that the controversy was never about, receiving any kind of funding from USAID.
No,
it's common knowledge. No, it was actually about the $21 million which was spoken of by Doge. It was never about the 750, 850, so on and so forth million dollars which were received by India, because that's a known fact. And if it's finding a mention in the finance ministry's report, then that's an admission by the government of the day, isn't it?
I am sorry, that is not how the BJP presented it on television channels in the past 2 weeks.
So let Shazia respond. And Mr. Sajjanar has been very patient, Shazia, so please be quick in your rebuttal. I need to go across to the gentleman.
No, I won't be quick, but please do ask Ambassador Ashokji to speak first and I'll come back.
Okay, great. Thank you so much. You just made it easier for me. Mr. Sajjanar, thank you for your patience. What's also interesting, sir, is the reaction that's coming from External Affairs Minister S. Jaishankar. He says that historically USAID has been allowed. We have received fundings from USAID, and all of that has been received in good faith. If at all there are, there are things that have been done with a bad intention, then we need to get to the bottom of it. Now, do you find that statement problematic, because there are those in the opposition who don't seem convinced by the reaction that's coming from the EAM, and how much of a responsibility do you think lies on President Donald Trump or Elon Musk for that matter in raking these allegations without substantial proof?
Yeah, okay, thank you very much, Kritsween, and I agree with all that you have said. Number one, that USAID has been funding and supporting large number of projects. I will not say that it's come to the government of A, B or C. It doesn't come to the government. It comes for certain projects that are there, and the projects might be under the government or might be done by other NGOs. So I agree also with what the External Affairs Minister has said. USAID has come into the country. It has done good work. It has done useful work in the area of education, in the area of healthcare, in the area of skill development, gender empowerment, etc., etc. Many areas it has done good work. But what has really created a problem is this particular aspect, $21 million, which it was mentioned specifically that it would go for helping voter turnout. Now we know that there are a large number of organizations the world over, and mention has been made on this program and other programs also about the Open Society, about George Soros. He is known to have said in so many words, Kritsween, that I am going to put aside $1 billion to ensure that Mr. Modi is not re-elected, that he goes out of power. There are people who, on the basis of either ideology or of interest, they have made statements, whether it is newspapers, whether there are so many NGOs. So it was thought that all along with this, and of course, as far as Congress leadership is concerned, they go out and they seek the assistance and support of the, whether it is of the outside powers, government or NGOs, supporters, that you come and you help us. The democracy in India is in shambles. So I think this was really two and two put together, that, like other NGOs also, this money would also have gone basically to unseat, in an attempt to unseat Mr. Modi. Now, the one point you made about Elon Musk and Mr. Trump, Mr. Trump is not given to accuracy. It is not, when he says that this money went to, as the Congress representative was speaking, and I, agree with her, he said that it went to my friend Mr. Modi. It doesn't mean that, it went to the Indian government. It meant that it was designed to go to India. That is all, for certain project. And that project was
But that is the
increased
responsibility
turnout.
indeed he carries as the President of the United States
Yeah,
of
yeah,
America.
but
So
you
he's
know-
been shooting off some of those remarks.
Kritsween, you
Sir, I'm
know
running
what
out of
Mr.
time, so I
Trump
need to
is,
quickly
yes.
take in a last comment from Shazia. Shazia, 30 seconds left, so quickly please respond to the comments that have been made by Nikat and Nikhil.
So first things first, USAID has been working with India in tandem with many projects. These are externally aided projects and they are done transparently. But when there is something like a red flag or something,
We are
there's
not
is
questioning that.
something
What we are
is
questioning
flagged,
right
such
now
as-
is that
such as
when
$21
Donald
million.
Trump mentions that it was given for the voter turnout to friend Modi, what does that mean? Why haven't you taken this up with the UN
I
or
think
the
Mr.
US government
Sajjanhar,
and
I
haven't
think
taken
Mr.
legal action
Sajjanhar
yet?
has answered that already, Nikat. But let Shazia complete her point. Shazia.
Yeah. So I think Nikat, I think you're short on comprehension. So I said this the first time, but if you were cared to listen, $21 million has been given, was going to be given, and has been axed. So obviously it cannot come to India. As simple as that, because Donald Trump called it out, and Doge tweet says it was to be given. So obviously it's been scrapped. It cannot come to India. But what was it allocated for? Who are the mysterious benefactors? What interest do they have? And so
That
many
is
of
why we are
USAID
saying that
programs
come up
do
with a white
have
paper
links
and
with-
we shall
do
leave
have
it
link
on,
with this thing with
because
George Soros.
46.4%
And George Soros has already
of
said that
whatever
$1
money had
million
come from
will be given
USAID
to
has
dislodge
come from your
Modi.
government, has
So
been
use
coming
your
from
brains,
government.
my dear
Shazia,
friend.
you have to
And
come up
that's
with a
it.
white paper. You are in
Okay, don't keep yapping.
You know, ladies,
Don't
the
keep
fact of the
yapping.
matter
Here,
is that
what
the
is
fact
You
of
are
the
the
matter is on
fundamental-
paper, one can't point to what really indicates whether or not this money which was intended to be given to India was going to be received by the then UPA, by the NDA now, and that's perhaps where the government of the day's official position is also coming from. So we'll have to wait a little bit till then. I think this kind of a back and forth is going to continue. But both you gentlemen and ladies, thank you so much for joining us for debate number one. We head into a very quick break. On the other side, we shift our attention to the language debate, which is once again raging in Tamil Nadu amid the ongoing political war of words. A group of pro-Tamil activists blackened a few Hindi words written on signboards at railway stations. We'll take you through the latest in just a minute.
सस्ते वाले Maria Santissima, premurosa e tenera nel soccorrere i suoi figli che si trovano nel dolore, lo sostenga in questo momento di prova e di sofferenza. La parola di Dio e la preghiera raccoglieranno ed esprimeranno tutte le nostre parole e le esprimono con pienezza. Ci aiuteranno a sentirci in comunione tra noi, con il Santo Padre, con tutta la Chiesa, in particolare con le chiese in Italia, che in questi giorni prossimi si ritroveranno in tanti modi, sempre nella dolce compagnia di Maria, per intercedere per la guarigione del Papa. Sappiamo anche quanti si uniscono a noi, tanti nella amicizia hanno affidato a noi la preghiera, quanti attestati di riconoscenza e di stima che presentiamo tutti al Signore perché doni protezione e renda forte nella fede il Papa Francesco. Preghiamo. O Dio, che in Maria, madre del tuo Figlio, hai posto il segno della nostra difesa e del nostro aiuto, concedi a Papa Francesco di godere la salute del corpo e dello spirito, perché continui ad essere per la Chiesa testimone del tuo Vangelo di misericordia, a presiederla nella comunione.
ricolma di grazia la tua Chiesa.
Ascoltaci, Signore.
Dona salute a Papa Francesco.
Ascoltaci, Signore.
Estendi il dono della pace a tutti i popoli.
Ascoltaci, Signore.
Rendi tutti i defunti partecipi della Pasqua eterna.
E poi dopo fra un po' lo...
Dos nossos pecados, Jesus do mundo inteiro, pela sua dolorosa paixão, tende misericórdia de nós e do mundo inteiro. Deus Santo, Deus Forte, Deus Imortal.
Hoy también nosotros venimos por el Papa Francisco. Sabemos que si bien la situación de su salud es crítica, no es fatal. Sabemos que su salud, como toda salud de una persona mayor, y aún también en ciertos casos de cualquiera, necesita siempre el cuidado que ofrece la medicina. Acompañar y la resurrección de Cristo que nos hace dignos de servir en tu presencia.
Apenada porque cualquier situación que le pase a él es como que le pasa a uno en el interior del corazón también cuando uno es una persona de fe. Espero que Dios lo acompañe y la Virgen lo cuide y más que nada que no sufra, ¿no? Y que sea lo que Dios quiera, porque él no se merece sufrir.
Para mí es un ídolo, porque personas que transmiten tanto bien, tanta bondad y tanto amor por los demás. Es triste, ¿por qué se tienen que ir esos ídolos? Esos son ídolos de verdad, que entregan mucho mensaje, que entregan su vida por otro.
Senza vedere il tuo messaggio, quindi tu qui stato.
Welcome back. You're watching Plain Speak. Viewers, a major language war has once again erupted between the DMK government in Tamil Nadu and the BJP-led centre over the national education policy and its three-language push. The centre has urged the Tamil Nadu government to implement the Pradhan Mantri Schools for Rising India, the PM Shri, in exchange for rightful funds under the Integration of School Education Scheme. The story began a few days ago when both the Chief Minister and the State Education Minister condemned the central government for diverting funds meant for Tamil Nadu to other BJP-ruled states. The condition put forth by the centre in agreeing to the NEP first is being seen as an attempt to arm twist, with many DMK leaders also calling it politics of blackmail. But the BJP's counter to that is that this is nothing but an attempt to tweak facts to spread falsehood as the NEP doesn't mandate opting for Hindi as the third language. Why this language debate has taken a turn for worse perhaps is the manner in which this back and forth seems to have now gone beyond the domain of education. And we say this for a reason, viewers. The ongoing language war in Tamil Nadu was escalated with the latest act of defiance by some of the DMK workers and a few pro-Tamil activists who blackened Hindi signboards at railway stations across the state. The first act of protest took place in Pollachi that you see on your screens, where Hindi signboards were defaced. Following this incident, the protest spread to Tirunelveli, and a symbolic protest once again where similar steps were taken to remove once again the Hindi inscription from the railway station signboard. So what explains this kind of a gesture on part of those who are perhaps not in favor of the national education policy in the state? And that has been the longest, the most obvious stand which the DMK has taken when it comes to the national education policy. But isn't this taking the language war too far? We'll take that up with our experts joining us after listening in to the top reactions so far.
There is absolute unanimity in Tamil Nadu in rejecting the new educational policy.
Because you say NEP insists on a three-language formula. All private schools have got a three-language formula, including your family school, Sunshine School, which is run by your family.
Let's quickly take this across to YG Madhuvanti, BJP leader from Tamil Nadu, along with Dr. Syed Hafiz, spokesperson of the DMK. Thank you to the both of you for joining us on the broadcast. Dr. Syed Hafiz, my first question is to you, given the kind of angered responses that we're picking up from across the DMK in the state. Up until now, it was the DMK up in arms against the central government, opposing the NEP, talking about how this is an attempt to impose Hindi on the students of Tamil Nadu. But now you have several DMK members, supporters, pro-Tamil activists who are backed by some of these DMK leaders trying to blacken the Hindi text on these railway station signboards. Dr. Hafiz?
No, I'm not able to hear you.
Okay, no, just wanting to understand from you what explains, this kind of a turn that we've seen the language war take in Tamil Nadu. Up until now, it was limited to DMK leaders criticizing the NEP, which they say was an attempt to impose Hindi on the students of Tamil Nadu. But now you have these kind of symbolic protests being carried out by several DMK supporters.
Yeah. This symbolic protests have happened in Tamil Nadu in the past whenever there had been an imposition or an effort to impose Hindi on the people of Tamil Nadu. This has been a norm, this has been a tradition when such intimidations have happened. This is how Tamil Nadu has reacted and protested in the past. This current row, there were dialogues between the stakeholders, that is the political parties in the ruling government of Tamil Nadu, with the union government by means of political dialogue, by means of press meet. All this triggered when it was linked to anti-constitutional activity, when we said we will not accept the imposition of three-language formula. So this is where this trigger erupted when the union minister for education linking this protest or this opposition to NEP or three-language to be an anti-constitutional. That is where this trigger happened. So it is a reaction to how union government sees this issue. So it is not something that that we initiated. And we have been debating with the union government on this issue by means of
no, but what's your opposition? What's your opposition to NEP when the central government, top ministers, BJP, state BJP leaders have all come out to clarify time and again, not just to media outfits, to people in Tamil Nadu, to their political opponents in the state, that this has got nothing to do with imposing Hindi. The students are going to be the ones who will decide which language they want to opt for.
Now, I would quote an ACER data which is conducted throughout the country. You know, the policymakers should have the basic understanding of the country, of the students of India who are struggling to read their own mother tongue. You're coming up with a third language. What kind of an idea are you into? Either you're contradicting your own government report which says that the students are struggling to learn their own mother tongue, or you're too confident in the three-language formula. What is true? Your own report released just 2 weeks back says that the students in the school are struggling to learn Marathi. That is their respective mother tongue. That implies to Tamil Nadu also. Now you're imposing the third language. How is it going to benefit the students? You are creating a system that is going to exclude downtrodden people. In India, your efforts are to keep the students in the school. Leave around the quality.
Okay. So I'll take that to Ms. Madhuvanti. I understand when you say that the DMK as a political party is of the opinion that this is going to add to the burden on students. But again, my question was, how does implementing the national education policy also mean Hindi imposition? That was my limited question. But Madhuvanti ji, how would you respond?
Yeah, good evening to you and good evening to Dr. Syed Hafiz. This is a plan. Good, thank you. Very well. Nice to see you again. So, this is a rhetoric, ma'am, and this is a narrative. I feel sorry for people like Mr. Syed Hafiz because they have all been asked to speak this. I don't blame him. It's not his fault. So I cannot, say, how can you talk like this? Because let's ask Mr. Syed Hafiz one question now. Because there is three-language policy, will the first family and all the ministers who run schools in Tamil Nadu change from CBSE to state board? They won't. The three-language policy has been there in all the schools. And there, until now, Hindi was compulsory. Now, in the current national education policy is when our Honorable Prime Minister clearly told the members who brought the draft to him, saying, don't impose Hindi. I'm saying it again, don't impose Hindi. Let them learn a language of their choice. You know the meaning of the word choice? In the third language formula. So I do not understand where there is pressure. When it comes to government schools, they say pressure, but when it comes to their own children studying in private schools, they're all comfortably studying three languages. There is absolutely no problem. Nobody wants to question that. And it's a matter of shame if a minister or a sitting member of the DMK is going to say that the children in Tamil Nadu are struggling to study Tamil. That is something the state of Tamil Nadu has to look into. Because you are the people who are promoting the values of Tamil and the culture and the ethics of Tamil. As Periyar said, although Periyar said something else totally, I don't want to go into that right now. But then, when you say such things, then it's a shame for a state to say that my children don't know how to study the mother tongue. And all I'm saying is, ma'am, where is Hindi imposition? And if speaking about this is anti-constitutional, please tell me, is putting black paint on railway boards very constitutional? Is that an act of law?
Dr. Syed Hafiz, besides Dr. Hafiz, if at all this is a condition that's been put forth by the central government and you're unwilling to budge, you're saying that we're not going to let the NEP get implemented because that means implementation of the three-language policy. Aren't the students of your state going to end up suffering, sir? There needs to be some solution in sight, right?
So people who understand the problem of poor in India will stand with us. I'm giving you data from the union government, madam. It is not my data. ACER report is from the union
But are there no downtrodden poor students in other states where NEP has seen the light of the day, where it is being implemented and students have been given the option to opt for a third language?
Yes, they've been given an option. Where is the result? They are struggling in their own mother tongue. Is your observation from the study? What I'm telling is, you are bringing a system that is going to burden students who are already struggling. You know what is the dropout rate in
But Dr. Hafiz, that's the first time I'm seeing any DMK representative elaborate so much on how this is going to be a burden on the students. Up until now, we've just seen plain reluctance on part of DMK leaders. They're all citing this as an attempt to impose Hindi on the students. Let's call a spade, sir.
No. So, see, you cannot decide what. So first of all, understand. I am telling you a scientific data. You might not agree what I am talking. I am talking a data by the union government where students are struggling. Now, I also agree with it is an imposition. Why do you impose on students who are struggling actually to study? So okay. So if this is the basis, should I not oppose? Because it is students who are going to suffer. I am telling you a data. You cannot deny your own data. I'm telling you your own data which says that the students are struggling. So what? It is an imposition not only of Hindi. We are not ready to accept any imposition. I will tell you an RTI data. The PMC schools, these are the Kendra Vidyalaya schools. There are 34 schools in Tamil Nadu. These Kendra Vidyalaya schools, they don't have Tamil as a third language. It is Hindi and Sanskrit. Is this not an imposition? Who is going to question them? And you should question the BJP on this.
But the question being asked to I will question Madhuvanti ji on this.
Yes.
But my question to you is what the BJP is asking as to why is it that if you're a firm belief that the three language policy should not be followed, schools which are private schools which are going by the CBSE model are indeed following the same three language policy, are seeing children of several DMK leaders being admitted to these schools? Why not admit your children to government schools?
There are archery classes in the school that has been the CBSE schools. There are swimming classes. There are squash classes. There are every classes. This is a business-oriented system. If you want to make business-oriented system in the government school, that is going to affect the students who are coming to the school. This government of India is struggling to keep the students inside the school. You are not talking about the enrollment ratio, madam. The grants enrollment ratio is not sufficient. You are struggling for all that. When that is your motto, why are you going to burden the students who are going to get excluded if you put pressure on them by asking them to make it mandatory to learn the third language? It's let that be Hindi or Telugu or anything. Why do you mandate the students to learn a third language? That is the question. When Tamil Nadu has proven with two language formula, we are successful and front runner in the state. And you have to acknowledge the fact that Tamil Nadu is the leading in almost all the educational parameters which is released by the union government. So it is a successful model. Why do you want to meddle with the successful model is our question. You impose Hindi is another dimension to it, which I stand by, which my party stands by. That is evident with the fact that the Kendra Vidyalaya school, which are run by the union government in Tamil Nadu, does not have a single Tamil teacher. The RTA is evident. So is it not an Hindi imposition?
Madhuvanti ji, please respond.
That's
a big charge being leveled by Dr. Syed Hafiz. I also want to understand from you, Madhuvanti ji, in addition to what Dr. Hafiz has said, what's the reasoning in the central government wanting to ensure that the national education policy is very much implemented across schools in the state despite such heavy reluctance on part of the ruling dispensation?
I don't see what the problem is there. I think the problem lies with people like Mr. Hafiz who just want to brush aside and put the elephant under the carpet. I asked him a very simple question. Will they stop running CBSE schools in the first family and all the DMK members remove their children from there? Because don't you think his own family children are going to have pressure by learning three languages? Why don't you remove them and put them in state government schools? That they don't have an answer to. That they are not going to do, are they? But they want to talk about government children having pressure. First and foremost, there is absolutely no pressure. It is always a pleasure to learn more languages. There is no pressure. I think learning languages is a skill.
And that gives an opportunity to students to learn Dravidian languages also.
Absolutely. You can learn anything. You can learn anything. Nobody is imposing anything. And now I see Mr. Hafiz saying that I am not worried about Hindi imposition, but imposing any language is difficult. Now that the line has slowly changed. Next, there will be a line that comes to us after 2 days when we have another debate saying, I am not opposed to anything. You are just putting pressure.
No, the earlier line was that you are wanting to now ensure that the funds which were allocated for the PM Shri are diverted to other BJP ruled states because they're not willing to go by the national education policy.
These are things to which the education minister has given a clear-cut letter and clarified all the points. Just as how Mr. Hafiz has RTI. There is RTI, there is a letter from the education minister clearly stating what is what and what
the facts are. I think she should answer to my specific question of Kendra Vidyalaya not having Hindi.
No, please answer my one question.
When you said my question of Hindi imposition, I have given a data. That is not a question at all, madam. That has nothing to do with the policy.
It is a
It has nothing
question.
to do with the
It is a
policies.
question.
These are
You are
private
refusing
schools.
to answer
It
my
is not.
question.
I will answer.
I will not
Listen to me.
answer.
No,
I
but
will not answer a question
Dr.
to a
Said Hafiz,
question,
you're
sir. I'm
posing
sorry.
questions, but it indeed is looking like a case of shifting goalposts, because
Absolutely.
your questions
So
also
why should
varying
I answer
from
and
one to the other
ask
as
the
and when
way-
questions
exactly.
are being asked to you. But well, let's see whether or not that's really the case here, or there is a solution in sight. We will be able to see a breakthrough, because that's what the need of the hour is. Not for political parties, Dr. Hafiz, for the students of the state. Unfortunately, that's all the time I have.
Government should look into.
Okay.
Union should look into and give the funds, not
Sir, you
force us
first
to
answer
follow
my
what you have to
question as to
follow.
will you change? Will you shift your children to state board schools, sir? Please, sir. Answer my question, sir.
Yes, I will answer the question. It is a matter of choice of the parents.
Exactly. So the third language policy is also a matter of choice.
Okay.
Now, when
Okay.
it comes to
Apologies.
this, there is no
Apologies, Madhuvanti ji, Dr. Hafiz Said. That's all the time I have. We'll hopefully take this up, because we're most certainly looking forward to a breakthrough so that the students' future is not jeopardized. For now, we also talk about another interesting development which we've been tracking since last evening, viewers. After India's dominating performance that crushed Pakistan's hopes in the ICC Champions Trophy at Dubai International Stadium, Pakistan's reaction was one of utter disappointment and frustration. The crushing defeat left the entire nation in shock. The emotional fallout was evident across platforms. Pakistani cricketers, who need no introduction, on your screen, Shoaib Akhtar, Shoaib Malik, unable to hide their emotions, had a major meltdown on live TV. Wasn't just the players, fans were equally disheartened. Many took to social media, several platforms, to voice their displeasure, also sarcastically calling for changes within the team, while others simply couldn't process the loss. Here's how it played out on live TV and beyond.
मलक, आज के मैच के बारे में क्या कहेंगे?
दिल के अरमां आंसुओं में बह गए, हम वफा करके भी तन्हा रह गए।
ये एनालिसिस आपका?
जी।
तुम्हारा क्या एनालिसिस है जी? रह गए। चले, कोई बात नहीं। दिस इज पैनल। हाँ जी।
अब तो आदत सी है।
प्रोग्राम बढ़ गया। मलक, आज के मैच के बारे में क्या कहेंगे?
That's all we could pack for you in this edition of Plain Speak. Thanks for watching.
सस्ते वाले
Maria Santissima, premurosa e tenera nel soccorrere i suoi figli che si trovano nel dolore, lo sostenga in questo momento di prova e di sofferenza. La parola di Dio e la preghiera raccoglieranno ed esprimeranno tutte le nostre parole e le esprimono con pienezza. Ci aiuteranno a sentirci in comunione tra noi, con il Santo Padre, con tutta la Chiesa, in particolare con le chiese in Italia, che in questi giorni prossimi si ritroveranno in tanti modi sempre nella dolce compagnia di Maria per intercedere per la guarigione del Papa. Sappiamo anche quanti si uniscono a noi, tanti nella amicizia hanno affidato a noi la preghiera, quanti attestati di riconoscenza e di stima che presentiamo tutti al Signore perché doni protezione e renda forte nella fede il Papa Francesco. Preghiamo. O Dio, che in Maria, madre del tuo figlio, hai posto il segno della nostra difesa e del nostro aiuto. Concedi a Papa Francesco di godere la salute del corpo e dello spirito, perché continui ad essere per la Chiesa testimone del tuo Vangelo di misericordia, a presiederla nella comunione.
Ricolma di grazia la tua Chiesa. Dona salute a Papa Francesco. Estendi il dono della pace a tutti i popoli. Rendi tutti i defunti partecipi della Pasqua eterna.
Ah, e poi dopo fra un po' lo... Ah.
Dos nossos pecados pelo mundo inteiro, pela sua dolorosa paixão, tende misericórdia de nós e do mundo inteiro. Deus Santo, Deus Forte, Deus Imortal.
Hoy también nosotros pedimos por el Papa Francisco. Sabemos que si bien la situación de su salud es crítica, no es fatal. Sabemos que su salud, como toda salud de una persona mayor, y aún también en ciertos casos de cualquiera, necesita siempre el cuidado que ofrece la medicina, acompañado y la resurrección de tu Hijo de presente, que nos hace dignos de servir en tu presencia.
Apenada porque cualquier situación que le pase a él es como que le pasa a uno en el interior del corazón también cuando uno es una persona de fe. Espero que Dios lo acompañe y la Virgen lo cuide y más que nada que no sufra, ¿no? Y que sea lo que Dios quiera, porque él no se merece sufrir.
Para mí es un ídolo, porque hay personas que transmiten tanto bien, tanta bondad y tanto amor por los demás. Es triste, ¿por qué se tienen que ir esos ídolos? Esos son ídolos de verdad, que entregan mucho mensaje, que entregan su vida por otro.
Namaste, Jai Hind and welcome to this edition of The Right Stand. I am Anand Narasimhan. Did a foreign hand aid secessionists in Manipur in 2024 to escalate situation with an attempt to destabilize a developing Bharat? This is a CNN News 18 exclusive and the information is brought forth by our Group Editor Investigations and Security Affairs, Manoj Kumar Gupta. Now, these are exclusive inputs of the NIA, that is the National Investigation Agency's big revelations in court. Now, the NIA has told court that more than 40 drone bombs were dropped by secessionists in September 2024 in that attack in Manipur. These bombs were dropped in the Kotruk and the Kadangband villages in Imphal. The kingpin who brought these drone bombs has been identified as Khaigolin Kib